Hey guys, Upper Nimbus here. So I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas of 2023. And speaking of 2023, I wanted to end this year talking about Nintendo 3DS JRPGs I would love to see remastered for the Nintendo Switch. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like what you're seeing today. Let's get stuck into the video. The first set of JRPGs from the Nintendo 3DS that I would love on the Nintendo Switch are the Bravely Default games. So this actually consists of both Bravely Default and Bravely Second End Layer, I think it is called. It's really interesting because I thought Bravely Second was the sequel to Bravely Default, which I think it was. I never actually played Bravely Second End Layer, and I know that they got Bravely Default 2 on the Switch, and that is the sequel to Bravely Default. But regardless, I would love these initial Bravely games on the Switch because I did play the very first Bravely Default game and I thought that was an absolutely fantastic JRPG. I loved the turn-based combat, it was addictive, it was punctual, it felt so good when you landed hits against the enemies and in boss fights. Of course, being a Square Enix game, the music slapped hard and was absolutely gorgeous to listen to. The exploration of the world was pretty classic for general JRPG exploration, and of course I did like the characters. They were quite likable for the most part. So even though it's been quite a long time since I did play the original Bravely Default, I would love to see these two games as a double combo pack on the Switch, because then that would give me and many other people the opportunity to not only play these games, but also especially Bravely Second End Layer, which to me is the one that I actually want to play the most. So this next JRPG from the Nintendo 3DS era is Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. Now this game is actually a remaster of the original Radiant Historia on the Nintendo DS. I did come across it the once pre-owned on the Nintendo 3DS, but I didn't bother picking it up because, well, I didn't have a Nintendo 3DS console anymore. I had completely moved on to the Nintendo Switch, and this is why I would love Radiant Historia to come Switch bound. Now this game was developed and published by Atlus, who were known for the amazing Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series. For whatever reason, anything made by Atlus is always shipped out in small print runs, and they're really hard to find. And I know that Radiant Historia is nothing like the legendary status of something like Chrono Trigger, but it definitely has its own form of legacy and cult status following. I've heard so many phenomenal things about this game. It's one of the best JRPGs from the Nintendo DS and 3DS era. So Atlus, if you are listening to this, please bring Radiant Historia over to the Nintendo Switch, or at least the Nintendo Switch 2 when that finally arrives. So the next JRPG from the Nintendo 3DS era that I want to talk about is 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD. The music in this game and the high-tech city that you sort of reside within the hub area was just so awesome, man. I loved the aesthetics and I loved the setting of this game. It was badass. Now, I can't exactly remember if there was like this virtual reality thing in the game where the different places and areas you explored outside of this futuristic city was all taking place within virtual reality. But anyway, regardless, you do get to explore different areas and different, I think also timelines. I think there was a time factor to this game, or different eras apart from the one that you actually start within. And I don't really remember if there was an actual proper main character. I think everybody you played as was a somewhat semi-customizable avatar. However, from memory, I think you could recruit different classes and different races of people. It was pretty neat and pretty cool actually. And the art style for the character profiles, oh my god. I love the art direction within 7th Dragon 3. It is absolutely awesome. So yes, this is definitely a game I would love to relive and re-experience a reimagined version on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, here we go. One of my absolute favorites, Stellar Glow on the Nintendo 3DS. This is a JRPG which was actually the swan song game of Image Epoch. Yep, they don't really exist anymore. They kind of went bankrupt and down the drain. So I was really grateful that I got to experience the story and adventure within this game, because Stellar Glow has some stellar tactical turn-based combat. This game is absolutely addictive to play. I love everything about it. From, yes, the somewhat two-dimensional characters to the music. The music slaps super hard in this game. There are some amazing bangers to listen to while you're out there exploring and on the battlefield. The hype and energy levels associated with the combat in this game got me so excited every time I booted it up. And yes, the story is actually quite phenomenal. Stellar Glow is definitely an underappreciated gem of a JRPG that you should absolutely play if you ever get the chance. And this is why I am hoping that somehow this game can come Switch bound at some point in the future. So I've got my fingers crossed, whether it is Switch or Switch 2, I hope that Stellar Glow is something that makes it over to the modern platforms. Now, of course, if you know, I am a massive Nintendo fan, and of course I love my JRPGs. So what better combo to have than the Fire Emblem games on the Nintendo 3DS? Now, I know Fire Emblem Fates was a little bit controversial, and yeah, I agree, I don't think Fates was the best Fire Emblem game to play, but if we could at least get maybe Fire Emblem Awakening and even Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia on the Switch, that would make my day and make my 2024. This franchise would not have continued to exist if it wasn't for the enormous success of Fire Emblem Awakening. I will admit I was a little bit worried that the Fire Emblem series wasn't really going to be a thing after Awakening, so I'm just really glad that the game sold absolute gangbusters and gave birth to a whole new subset of fans out there who absolutely love and adore the Fire Emblem franchise. And then of course it eventually led to things like Fire Emblem Three Houses, another absolute stunner game within the Fire Emblem series. So yes, as you can probably tell, it would be Fire Emblem Awakening from the 3DS that I would love ported over to the Nintendo Switch. So who knows what remakes or remasters will come to the Switch for Fire Emblem games, but I do hope it's at least Awakening, and if that does happen, that would be the best thing ever. Now, I want to give just some honorable mentions to specifically the Shin Megami Tensei games. I haven't really played SMT at all whatsoever, apart from on the Nintendo 3DS. I think the game I played was SMT Devil Survivor Record Breaker. I think that's the name of it. Now, one of my YouTube buddies, Just History Guy, is an absolute fanatic when it comes to Atlus games and also especially Shin Megami Tensei. So definitely check out his channel and his content if you want more Atlus coverage. I've always found the SMT games really difficult to get into due to their unnecessarily high difficulty levels. Shin Megami Tensei is like eating a ghost chili pepper. It's just super spicy, dude. Like the moment you get into it, your head and your soul is just burning. I do have both Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 5 on the Nintendo Switch. Haven't touched them. I will admit I am a little bit intimidated, but the SMT series are a set of games that I should give the time of day at some point in the future. I know I say that about everything that I collect and have in my own collection, but hey, that's all good. I thought I would mention the Shin Megami Tensei games from the Nintendo 3DS. There were actually quite a lot of them. There was like 5 or 6 of them, and it would be pretty cool, or at least necessary in my eyes, to have SMT 4 and 4 Apocalypse, because we got SMT 3 and 5, so you could have 4 to fill in the gap between those two, and bada bing bada boom, there you go, you'd have SMT 3 through to 5 available on the Nintendo Switch. So those were my picks for 3DS JRPGs I would love to see remastered or remade for the Nintendo Switch. If there are any Nintendo 3DS JRPGs you think I've missed or you believe should be brought over to the Nintendo Switch, definitely let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps the channel and goes a long way. Thanks once again for tuning into the video. So until the next time, everybody, Upper Nimbus is signing off.